Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright. Yep.
Yeah. I got something.
That's
for
amazing.
I
love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
What's going on, everybody? Tuesday night, niche night here on A2D Radio, and that means one thing. It's some wrestling talk here. We're ready to talk about a huge unexpected thing that happened this week, live on the Lazy Booking Podcast. As always, I am Chrome, joined this week by special guest was here last week and original co-host of the Lazy Booking Podcast, right this way, Mr. Billy Thrasher. What's up, brother?
God, you're digging me up more times than The Undertaker.
I'm telling you. I mean, at this point, we're talking about, is AJ ever coming back? Like, I guess never say never, right? Not in this business. I know. Such a wild week. Guys, we got a lot to talk about this week. Big thing last night, obviously, on Raw. AJ Styles Appreciation Night. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few other little news and notes from there, as well as we're going to preview WWE Elimination Chamber. We're going to give our predictions on who's going to win, who makes sense, what would be the best WrestleMania outcome. So we'll dive into that as well. So wherever you're at, on Facebook, YouTube, X, if X is working, I don't know. We've had not just us across the board. There's been some issues getting X going. If you are there and you see us, please, guys, comment in, share us out, give us a like, give us a subscribe. But as always, the most important thing is join our conversation, because we're talking about the phenomenal one Mr. AJ Styles, for the majority, predominantly for this show. Eric's out on vacation. We love him. I hope he's having a blast. I did talk to him briefly today, and it sounds like he's having a great time. He sent me and Andy Ritz a video. He went to a luchador wrestling show, and it looked like a hell of a time. Obviously not local, in another country. So yeah, really, really cool. Hope he's having a great time out there. Show a little love to our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find him at physical locations of Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and you can find him on the web at that site, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Any aches, pains, anything brand new, anything long-lasting, contact him and his award-winning team. They'll give you a little look-see, a little peek-see, and they'll get you on the track to feeling your absolute peak. I don't have Andy this week to give a wink to. Now, Billy, listen, this is awesome. I know we had our 10-year anniversary show last week, and one of the things I mentioned on there was this show started right after the Royal Rumble, a couple weeks after, when AJ Styles made his WWE debut. And I remember at that time, that might have been the first topic we actually covered. But talking about that, it was one of those things we never thought we would see, right? You know, and then 10 years later, here we are, and we're talking Hall of Fame. That's right. Big thing last night. We're going to dive into the details in a moment on our opening topic here, brought by our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. AJ Styles is the greatest in-ring performer in WWE history. Do you agree or disagree with that statement? Again, wherever you're at, comment in. We want to know if you agree or disagree with this statement, as well as your thoughts on everything we discuss tonight, which you'll see scanning across this bottom line right here. Billy, kick us off here. Or I guess maybe I should set the tone, right? For what we had happen last night. Because I don't know about you, wool got pulled over my eyes last night too in the process. I thought we were going one direction, and they gave me a little peekaboo and sent me the other way.
So, funny story is I don't remember that we started around the Rumble time.
Yeah.
And if I go back and think about it, I think the kickoff to us doing the show in the beginning was, if you remember, all those rumors about everybody coming, which was super exciting at the time.
Nakamura was one of them.
Yeah. Gallows, Anderson. They had the 4 of them or whatever, and it was just like, oh wow, this is crazy. Seeing where we are now, I was actually, so I didn't even know what happened. So we were sitting in a Dairy Queen last night, and Bray was watching it on Netflix, and he says to me, he's like, "Oh, look at this," and we were watching like the AJ clip, and I'm like, "Oh, I think something's going to happen here." It just had a setup for, well, maybe he'll be at WrestleMania. And then it kept going, and it was like, oh, maybe that's it. Just like them honoring him or whatever. And all of a sudden, Bray was like, you got to see this. The lights were out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And out came The Undertaker. And I was like, oh, okay. It reminded me of that whole Ric Flair thing, right? And then that was it. I didn't watch any more of it. I was like, okay, no, I figured that was it. Well, and then I got home and realized we're now putting him into the Hall of Fame, which blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Who'd have thought 10 years ago when we started this is where we would be.
Absolutely crazy.
So to set the tone for everybody, right? So last night's AJ Styles Appreciation Night. One, I'm glad they got the Gunther elephant in the room out of the building early. I like the way they did that. They had the little homage to what AJ's last little run was, right? Where he had the tag team titles with Dragon Lee. So they kind of continued that little storyline that's been going on. They throw him out and say, tonight's not about you. You're out of the building. So first in my head, because it's WWE, I'm like, okay, was this whole thing a swerve all along? And the intention is him to come back. But then I really felt like they were really, really going at it with the videos and the biggest moments of his time. And I was like, okay, they're bringing back Frankie Kazarian. Gallows and Anderson are on last night's show.
That's crazy.
Bobby Roode.
No.
So they kept having all these like little Petey Williams, all these backstage things. So I thought to myself, all right, so maybe not. So we then get to the point, AJ, they show this beautiful video package, and this is where this relationship with TNA really comes in handy, because you're able to, outside of his brief New Japan moment, they're able to tell the full story essentially of AJ Styles. From there, they own the WCW footage. So they have the majority of his career. And you couldn't do this before, but now they can. Exactly. They can piece this all together. They have this beautiful video package that goes that's played with Creed's Higher, which is a banger still. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, yeah.
That song slaps. It hits well. And they go, and then so they come out of the video package. They have like a brief moment with a large pan in the crowd, like a long shot. And all of a sudden the music hits. I thought the crowd was a little tame to start. They got into it as AJ got in the ring, but the music hits. They have the video. They have the camera following AJ from behind. He accidentally bumps his shoulder, turning the corner, but he's there. He gets in, and then boom, AJ comes in. He goes through, gives everybody high fives, gets into the ring. You start to get the momentum of the crowd now. I was a little surprised how quiet they were when the music hit, but they start getting amped. AJ gets in the ring. You get the thank you, AJ's chance, and they start talking, right? And he talks about his family. And I think the most important aspect of this, obviously, is how much he genuinely talked about his family and the time to be with his family. And getting the other elephant out of the room was, why did he not take the gloves off at Saudi?
Yeah.
And he almost immediately goes into, I wanted to bring them home. I wanted to be in front of my people where I grew up 45 minutes down the road from. And this is where I wanted to leave my gloves in the ring in front of them. and he takes the vest off and he does all of that. Then, as you mentioned, everybody comes out. You know, he thanks his family, he thanks everybody. Everyone starts to come out. And then you hear the gong, which you were alluding to. You can't tell because you could tell they're keeping the camera angle on him. So you almost think it's like one of those lights go on and he's standing behind AJ. I thought maybe like as a joke, they would do it as a recreation of the Boneyard. Was it the Boneyard match?
Yeah.
Where AJ's got the smile on his face and the Undertaker standing behind him. They don't, you know what I'm saying? I thought that visual was what I thought they were going to give us that visual again. But then he rides, you know, Taker, then the American Badass music hits. Taker rides the bike down. Taker gets into the ring. And Taker says to AJ, so that's it? We're just going to leave our gloves in the ring and that's it? And he says to him, we have unfinished business. So I'm looking at AJ's face and I'm like, man, he's really selling this. So now I'm thinking, and my buddy's verbiage, not mine, says, I felt like they were giving us the break glass in case of emergency to sell tickets in Vegas because they're struggling moment. And maybe they're going to give us, for both of those guys, that match that we want, that we deserve against each other. And then that's like truly it for both. And I'm thinking we're going there, man. But AJ, I'm like, man, AJ's really acting because AJ looked shocked at what was going on. Like, this is a great sell job. And then when he says that, and AJ's like, huh? And then he says to him, you know, have you ever heard the saying, if you see me coming, you're already gone? And he said, well, I've changed that over time. If you see me coming, you're going. I have the esteemed honor of informing you that you are the newest inductee in the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame class. AJ like breaks like at that point because he looked very confused. Yeah. But what a moment! The swell started. Taker obviously said it a little bit slower, but the swell starts of the crowd getting pumped up because as soon as he says, "I have the esteemed honor or pleasure," one of those two words he used, the crowd is kind of knowing what's going on. Yeah. And then they say of, informing you, blah, blah, blah. And everyone knows. It was just awesome. They have this moment. I tried to hear what they said to each other because it was almost like, did I get you? And then AJ's family comes in. They join him in the ring. They have this beautiful family hug in the ring. His one son was homesick with the flu. I bet he wishes he was there now. His actual son, AJ. But anyway, he gets in the ring. This beautiful moment happens. It is so awesome, so well deserved. I'm not ruling out, and I'm just putting it out there now. I'm not counting on it. I am not ruling out that they won't break glass still.
Yeah, that's true. That's a whole different can of worms. But like, Undertaker now is that large man from the NFL Hall of Fame that used to knock on doors, right? Is that what that is?
So that
I don't remember his name, but yeah, it's like that guy.
He still does it. So Nick said that to me, and then Ritz, who isn't even really a football fan, literally said to me, he's like the yellow jacket guy who knocks on the door to tell the NFL players that they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. That's literally the Taker is now. It's kind of funny.
It's cool. Like, listen, I will say this. Part of what makes it amazing is the element of surprise. And I think after this one, this might end the surprise of the Undertaker doing it. Like, you're going to kind of know something's up. Although now it might swerve guys to think, oh man, this is my moment. And it's not.
You just choke slam him instead. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But I think what gets me about it is like, it was so quick. Like, not that it's not deserving. It totally is. But you don't normally... it was very unexpected.
I have my theory why it was so quick. A, I think he's really done.
Yeah.
And B, I think they're sending a message to AEW that he's really done. Because there's been a lot of reports that AEW has been, on numerous occasions, throwing overtures to AJ's way. And he's declined them. So Listen, never say never. But I talked about
Mhm.
this weeks ago. I had some dude on TikTok trying to call bullshit on me, but if you know me, I have some connections with WWE.
I
I'm
could
not
see,
saying I'm not
but
saying
I
it's
could
Paul
see
Levesque.
AJ.
Hold on, real
Yeah,
quick.
and
I'm not
yeah.
saying it's Paul Levesque, but I have my connections, and one of my connections is very close to AJ Styles, who has known him for a long time. And I told people that everybody kept saying the gloves, this, that. I'm telling you, I have two sources. Both sources told me what he told them he was done. So I'm not patting myself on the back or anything, but that's more so to the one dickhead who tried to call bullshit on me. I never said I knew for 100% fact, but I knew what my sources told me, and my sources told me he's done. And it really seems to be
got to
going that
Barry
way.
Horowitz yourself, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I guess it's this way, right? Good.
Yeah.
You get yourself. Get you in there.
Like there were so many rumors, right? Like what he was gonna do. I feel like, you know, the easier path for him is like there's obviously he could easily go into a coaching role, you know, with WWE. He obviously loved it there. I don't see why you would go anywhere else. The only thing was like obviously he was at TNA and they teased that match with Frankie Kazarian, which never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the one match he does. But
I
don't
do
see
think
it,
there's a
but-
couple that could have happened in AEW that I would have been intrigued by. Omega again.
Yeah.
I
don't think he goes there though.
No, I don't think so at all.
It.
If it did happen, like I would not have been mad at him. I wouldn't have been like, "Oh my god, why would you do that?" Like to see him against like Swerve would have been cool. Hangman would have been cool. MJF would have been like an awesome promo. Like I would have loved to have seen that exchange. But again, it's not something I'm dying for because I feel like the man has fulfilled so many beautiful memories of for me in my life, professional wrestling. And I'm not even just talking WWE. I'm talking about his time in TNA as well.
Yeah.
I mean, my first TNA show I went to was Lockdown 2009. I went and I was in person there. And I didn't know a lot about AJ. I had heard of him. This was my first time seeing him live. And he did a dive off the top of the cage onto everybody. And I can visually still see him baby-faced at the time, but the gear wasn't much different. Jumping off of the top spread onto everybody. It was one of my funnest, especially now in having hindsight as a benefit, the fact that I can remember it so vividly to this day, and that's 17 years ago almost, makes it that much more special that it's one of the funnest moments in wrestling I had because this is a legend. And this was his early years, and I didn't know much about him, and I got to see him do this amazing move.
Yeah. So I never really watched TNA much. Like I'd catch some stuff here and there, but I was never an avid watcher of it. I think around the time I was hearing about it was when like guys like Hogan and stuff were there, and I was just like, I just don't want to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with that stuff. I'm like, I don't really want to watch it, but I would see him and it was like, oh, this guy's pretty decent. My introduction was him and Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Which was like right after that, I was like, wow, now I got to go watch stuff that he's done because that was insane. Yeah. So, I mean, it was like watching that match. It was like, I loved both of them instantly. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then, you know,
yeah, absolutely. Got some comments real quick, and then we're going to dive into the poll ourselves. We kind of got off which is fine. It was a special moment. We wanted to make sure we set the tone and talk about the moment before we dive into the accolades. Brian Daly from Flyers Talk A2D. We love Brian. Appreciate you dropping in, my guy. Says, what's up? AJ, I think, may be the best technical in-ring performer. One of. And then Pat says, we finished dropping the gear in the ring because he made a move to do it and stop. So to do it in his hometown, I guess that was finishing the story. And he asks, is Cena going into the Hall this year too? So I had a conversation with. I don't. Let's. It's wrestling. We don't need to follow exact by script here. Let's go with the crowd, right? Let's go with the crowd reaction. So this is the question here: is Cena going in this year? I don't believe so. I think John Cena had a long year by his standards at this point with WWE. I think he's going to be shooting a movie, I believe, around the time of WrestleMania. And also, I don't know what your thoughts are, Billy, on the Hall of Fame. I like this idea of getting back to the roots of it, where you have 4 or 5 inductees, not 8, and make them really big, important names, because the cupboard started to get bare very quickly when we started diluting the classes. And this, like, I like the idea of, we have AJ and Stephanie, 2 massive names. The Hardys are being rumored to be possibilities to go in.
Oh,
That would be really big. And then you throw maybe one more in, whoever you want to throw in at that point. Maybe you do somebody that's like, you know, like a second tier title, you know, a mid card star, which they're Hall of Famers in their own right, right? So maybe you throw a Santino in there. I mean, I'm just saying a random name, but I mean, I think that dude's going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
Tito Santana.
No, we don't. He is in the Hall of Fame already.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, he can. Tito can suck it. But no, I don't think Cena goes in. I think that we're looking at. I don't know if he goes in next year either in Saudi Arabia. Although
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Billy, because you know with Saudi they have that FU money. Like they're talking about next year's WrestleMania being like all these guys saying they're retired. It don't matter. Saudi Arabia is going to throw so much money at WWE to make anything happen. If they want Austin, they'll get Austin. They want Rock, they'll get Rock. If they want to dig up Andre, they'll get Andre. So like it almost makes me wonder if they said to them, we want Cena in the Hall of Fame when it's in Saudi Arabia. I'm really curious.
That's possible. And if anybody was going to do it to headline, it would probably be him. Yeah, I just remember you said that, and I remember the first year they went to Saudi, and they were like, they wanted, what was it, Yokozuna and the Warrior, and they had both passed. It was like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, they didn't even know who the hell was still around. That was funny.
But you're right. Like, I don't know about you, but like, even when we went to like WrestleMania 31, that Hall of Fame was so long. And it was just there were so many people that went in. It was like, that was the year of the Macho Man. Mm-hmm. But like that whole thing was so long that you're like, I don't want to sit through this anymore. Like, you're right. Shorten it up.
I could go, listen, you give me 4 people. Your headline, whoever is your number one headliner or 2 headliners, you each get 45 minutes. Everybody else gets 20 to 25 minutes. That's more than enough time. It's long, but because those people are probably the most in-demand people to see at that point, I almost feel like that's the direction it goes by faster when you feel like it's more meaningful. Yeah. Like
for sure.
I don't want to knock the Coco Bewares but like I was good on that. I mean, how long Mr. T thanked his mom for 35 minutes. It was very weird.
Oh,
very, very weird.
Yeah.
But so
what year was that? What WrestleMania was that? I can't even remember, but
I don't even remember. But let's get into the poll here. So AJ Styles again, he is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. And with that poll question, we're going to ask, I know we're 25 minutes in, we didn't even get to the poll, but there's a lot to set up here. I mean, it's AJ Styles. AJ Styles is the greatest in-ring performer in WWE history. Do you agree or disagree to that, Billy?
I think it's very subjective, but I'm going to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest in-ring performer, I think, would be Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's up there, but I don't think he's the greatest.
Okay.
I think that goes to Shawn.
I could make it so.
But it's all person, like it's all
It is.
opinionated, right? Like,
So I feel like, and Pove, I think, agrees with you here. Shout out to Pove also on 8 Flyers A2D, Flyers Talk A2D.
yeah,
Definitely top 5 for sure. Shawn Michaels is my number 1. So I when I created this topic,
yeah.
I was in the Shawn Michaels camp as well. I've always said I believe that Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer. But I also feel when I take a step back and I'm watching more of the work of AJ Styles. I think Shawn Michaels is the greatest WrestleMania performer of all time. But on a night in and night out basis, for a man who kept his head straight, gave everything that he had, worked as hard as he did to get to where he did at the level that he did, and I'm talking still be doing 450 splashes. Like things at unbelievably high levels where I'm being honest, I don't think I started to see even a centimeter of a slow up until maybe the last 3 months, maybe.
Yeah.
I do think there's a couple times we saw him like do a springboard on a rope to do the phenomenal elbow or phenomenal forearm and slip off the rope. We saw that happen. I think there's a couple of times, and sometimes it looked a little tougher to get that transition into the Styles clash towards the end here. I got worried a couple of times with some guys.
But is that a case of like? But is that also a case of them not working as much, and he really hasn't worked a ton, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I think it's age. You know, AJ gave an interview this past week, and AJ said, so he basically let the cat out of the bag that he was supposed to retire last WrestleMania. So the the topic came up of, actually, I believe this was on Raw Talk or whatever they call it, Raw Recap.
Yeah.
And the topic came up on, why Rumble? Why not wait till WrestleMania? So he said that he feels like, he said, I don't mean anything disrespectful about it, but he felt like the luster of WrestleMania has slipped a little bit to where it's not a be all end all to retire at Mania. And he said, first of all, the opportunity to go out 10 years from where you came in was something he felt was almost serendipitous. And then the other part of it was he actually said he was supposed to retire at WrestleMania 41, which nobody knew this. But he had that Liz Frank, or however you say it, injury that took him out from October up until like 2 months before Mania. And he ended up kind of speeding into a match with Logan Paul, to which he did not want. He came to the conclusion that to have that injury and then to come back and then kind of just come back for that one performance, he wanted to give his fans more. So he agreed to, I don't know if his contract was either short-term extended to the end of the year or if he was retiring early then and he was already signed to the end. I actually think he was already signed to the end of the year, but he was going to retire earlier than his contract was ending. But he decided he was going to work through the end of his contract, which was right after Royal Rumble. So now I look at it and I kept saying, like, why is, like, I get the AJ, like, I like in some aspects that AJ is working and putting some people over. But I was also like, are we having AJ lose too much? But now I look at things in hindsight, right? And it's like everything to him was a bonus after 41 because he didn't expect to still be around. So the run with Dragon Lee to try to help put Dragon Lee on the map.
Yeah.
The guys that he did put over, including Logan Paul last year at WrestleMania, that match was tremendous. And that's now his last WrestleMania match. The match against John Cena, which outside of Undertaker, Shawn Michaels of WrestleMania 25, might now be my second favorite match or third favorite match ever. Because you got to think of Steamboat and Savage as well.
Yeah.
That might be my third favorite match of all time.
That's crazy.
It's so good. It's a beautiful
And then if you
story.
hear about, like, if what's to be said is true on how that match came to be, that's insane. Because of Brock.
Yeah. Yeah. They came. Yeah. I mean, they came up with this. Well, it all happened because everything fell apart with the heel run for Cena, which
They
again,
needed Brock to look, menacing again. So they gave him Cena, and they're like, "Well, we'll give you Styles," which turned out to be one of the best matches that everyone liked this year.
has ever seen, maybe ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an all-timer. It's an all-timer. And I'm telling you, man, I think about that and I'm like, it's like we got Pete chiming in here. AJ's third behind HBK and Angle, in-ring.
Oh man. I don't disagree with that take.
See, I do. I think on a technical perspective, and I know that he could do like the moonsault and stuff like that, but I'm going overall. AJ could work technical. He was a high flyer. He could do 450 splashes. He could wrestle a power style. I mean, my heart wants to say Shawn Michaels. He's my favorite wrestler, performer of all time. But I'm just looking at the level that AJ did it for as long as he's done it. And part of that is he didn't do what the other two guys did and break his body down with drugs and alcohol. Took care of himself over all those years.
It's true.
And I think there's a lot to be said for that. It's the argument of here's a comparable argument, Billy.
Okay.
Do you want to and I can agree with the argument then. Depends on how do you rank greatest? It's the Jordan versus LeBron argument.
Oh boy.
LeBron is still going, and at his age, it's unbelievable. But Jordan at their personal peaks, Michael Jordan's run was more impressive. So who do you consider the greatest? Now, I would argue against myself now because I would say I look at Michael Jordan as the greatest, because it wasn't a 3-year run where you're like, oh, he's probably on PEDs or something. It was a long enough run that at his peak, he was the greatest of all time. I think if you got those two at their best. And it's the same thing. If I get Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles in the ring, who outshines the other? I think the setting.
And it's a shame we never got that match that was rumored.
I know.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was another rumored Royal Rumble match.
So I don't know if it was Rumble or Mania.
I thought it was Rumble.
There's been a couple of times that Sean has talked about where they tried to bring him out of retirement. One was Daniel Bryan. Another was AJ. And there, I think there was a third one in there. I don't remember who it was.
But yet they got him to come out of retirement for that tag match with Kane and Taker.
Saudi. That's that Saudi money.
Was it Saudi or was it Australia?
Oh shit, you might be right. Maybe it was Australia. I thought it was Saudi.
Either way, that's the part that makes me upset about it. It's like you got him out of retirement for that, but you had AJ Styles. I feel like that was a big missed opportunity.
I think that there's a couple of matches that we will look at and say, God, what could have been if we would have got them? WWE bypassing AJ Styles early in his career. I think is one of those where a young AJ versus Sean at that point. Whew. Pat says, here we go. Injury training vision continues. It's a shame because they had a lot of potential. Is it worth continuing the mass match? First of all, we are going to talk about this, Pat. I appreciate you bringing it up.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like this whole group is cursed.
Oh.
Like snake bitten. Braun, now this. I mean, Reed can't catch a break.
No.
So it's very unfortunate. We are going to talk about that one a little later in the show. So the question, Pete, was WWE, not so. And if Danielson can be in the conversation, but Okada and Tanahashi they're not in that conversation.
I like where his head's at.
I would still put AJ Styles over them.
Do you know what? I feel like this could be a separate show another time where we compare Shawn Michaels stuff that's not on WrestleMania to AJ. Because you might be onto something there.
Yeah,
just don't show the SummerSlam Hogan match and we're good.
Hey, that
was selling at his finest.
Listen, when Hogan passed away, that was actually one of the first things I watched.
Oh, man.
And guess what? It's pretty good. It's not as bad as you think it is.
No.
I mean, you know, Hogan definitely needed a hip replacement by that point. But it was a good match. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It told a great story. You know, that was when we got for a cup of coffee heel Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like at the end where he's like, I just had to know, brother. I just had to know. And he hugs him out. And I couldn't do without that part. But
no.
No, it was good stuff. So with this, right? What is AJ's legacy here? Because we're talking, you know, it's so crazy to think about. I thought more about the comment I made last week, where I talked about how we look at Joe Hendry and the opportunity that he has now through the working relationship with WWE. And I think, man, if that was around when AJ Styles was in TNA,
oh my God,
what doors would that have opened? What would his career have looked like? Now, again, there's a lot of different ways to look at that because A, you lose probably more of those TNA years because he probably ends up in WWE sooner. And B, you don't get that experience that he had in New Japan that I think took him to a next level. So
yeah,
it's kind of a double-edged sword, but it's wild just to think about that. Samoa Joe, Frankie Kazarian, who 20 years later is getting to benefit from that now, where he does some crossover work and works in WWE. But like, can you imagine what life, like I said it last week, just when we were talking about, you know, the differences in pro wrestling now in the industry. And now this comes about literally the week after. And I was like, oh my God, now I'm like putting AJ's career in retrospect. And I'm like, what would it have looked like? Would it have been a Hall of Fame career? Maybe not. But like, what are your thoughts on his legacy? Where do you think he stands in the history of the industry?
He's a very top tier performer WWE wise. He had so many bangers in WWE that people just don't, I don't know, either don't remember because he fought Roman in Extreme Rules. That was a great match. The Cena SummerSlam match was amazing. Like even the match. Even the match against Brock was great.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that long, but like I thought it was fantastic for what it was. Generally a great performer. I think, I don't even know.
Even go back
in
to
history, I don't know, but like definitely a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, I mean,
without the TNA stuff. And
go back to his match real quick. Go back. You're bringing up WWE moments.
Yeah.
The last minute match, where it's Finn and AJ. AJ fills in because Bray Wyatt gets sick and can't compete against the demon, right? Finn Balor.
Oh yeah.
And we got that match that it's one of those matches we wanted to see. Former Bullet Club leaders. What would it look like to have them in WWE? And it was a banger.
Yeah.
Tremendous match.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I'll say it, and it might be a hot take for some people, but I absolutely loved what they did with the Boneyard.
Oh no, I think that I thought it was great for what it was supposed to be then. And I actually think it gets better over time. I'm actually planning to watch that later today.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Like, honestly, even when it like came out, because remember that was that whole, what are they gonna do? Because it was all indoors, right? And then you got that, and it was like, this is awesome. Even though everyone's stuck at home, I was like, that was awesome. For what it was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I look back at how, and you got to think about the circumstances too of the difficult position they were put into then.
Oh, yeah.
And the pressure of this was supposed to be Undertaker's final match, and this is kind of your last fight that you're going to get in terms of an active career for Undertaker. And for the disappointment of not having that,
yeah,
there's two ways to look at that match. It's the disappointment that we never got it live.
Yeah.
Or it's the incredible, unique performance that we got that nobody else can say they had with The Undertaker.
I felt like for me, it just took me back to all the old stuff the Undertaker did in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But with like when Yokozuna put him in the casket and they did that, yeah, it took me back, and it was like, it was actually unbelievable. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
I agree. Yeah, for me, if I'm looking at his legacy, right, I think it's Trailblazer. I think he was Daniel Bryan before Daniel Bryan was Daniel Bryan. He's the guy that everybody said will never make it to WWE. And he defied the odds. And look at the career that this man has had. Like, a guy who we thought would always be the guy that never got there, gets there, and then within weeks, he has a full 10-year run, and within weeks, he is the headliner of the Hall of Fame. And as much as I love Stephanie McMahon, AJ Styles is the immediate headliner of that Hall of Fame class. You don't agree with that?
I think it's Steph.
I don't. And I'll be honest, I don't think she would want that. I think that she would want AJ to be the go home conversation there. But to me, that's the legacy. He inspired a generation. The Javon Evans and all these guys, the Rascals, the Rockstar Spuds, so many of these young talent, these high flying different talents over the years, even to this day. Leon Slater,
him winning his first championship over when he took it off Jinder on a random SmackDown. I was like, oh, I can't believe they pulled the trigger there, but it was good. I thought he did a great job as champ.
Yeah, 100%. Leon Slater with TNA, who is one of their top talents that I will likely end up in WWE at one point, was featured on the John Cena farewell show. I think and with AJ, AJ's one of his heroes. I mean, there's been so many people over the years, the P.D. Williams, the Eric, just so many people he's inspired, that I think that it's been a career of many avenues and has spanned the world, and it's just so cool to see the way that it's kind of come to its resolution. Got Dynasty jumping in. What's up? Appreciate you joining us, Dynasty. We're talking AJ Styles Is that when Bray was going to be Sister Abigail? No. I don't remember that, if I'm being fair with you. I don't
The
remember
worst
when
thing
he...
they ever did to him was change his music for like 2 weeks.
You're not talking about the music at the end, right?
No, his theme music, they changed it for like a couple weeks. It was terrible.
I don't remember. Which it's possible.
It's probably for the best you don't remember that.
Probably. Pat says Mount Rushmore. Is that yours, Pat, or are you asking me? He says Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, and then AJ. I mean, that would not be mine. It's so hard to do a Mount Rushmore because my Rushmore changes. Like Shawn Michaels will never come off of my Mount Rushmore. Hogan will probably never come off of my Mount Rushmore. I feel like it's hard not to have Flair on there because at his peak, he's the greatest heel of all time. Outside of maybe Hollywood Hogan, who's already on there anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I'd have a hard time not putting like Andre on there, right?
Andre, Taker. Yeah, it's hard not to put that. Austin.
Yeah.
Rock. Yeah, I don't think I could put AJ on there. But again, in terms of an in-ring performer, he worked so many different styles at the highest level for so many years. And he worked with all those guys except for Shawn. He worked with Angle. We've seen it.
That's still crazy to me. They never did it.
Honestly, he's probably who should have been Angle's final match when Angle stepped away from him. Instead, we got Corbin, which I get thing with it. It was a terrible. You did nothing with it. It was a terrible wasted opportunity. Dynasty agrees to the poll because he never hit that wall where it was bad. So Michaels didn't either. I mean, he had his 5-year break in between, but the dude came back like he never walked away and better than ever. His second run is probably better than his first, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah.
And I would think he was still. I feel like he was still at the top of his game on the way out. To me, did what AJ did. He got out when the getting was good.
The only blemish I think was that tag match we spoke of, but that was a whole mess.
See, I don't even count that.
Oh,
I don't even count that. But like to Dynasty's credit, like if you want to talk about that 5 years, Shawn had to step away and count that against them. You could because AJ never stopped.
Yeah,
just kept rolling.
That's also true.
So it's and listen, Shawn Michaels is an incredibly gifted performer. Shawn Michaels was an inspiration of AJ Styles, but I think AJ innovated some of the in-ring work that Shawn did and did it at a higher level too. And again, this is hard for me to say because Shawn Michaels will never not be my favorite in-ring performer. My favorite, I think AJ beats him. At WrestleMania, nobody will ever be better than Shawn Michaels. I don't care who it is at this point. There's one Mr. WrestleMania, and that will never change. Ever. So who should induct AJ?
See, I don't know. Like, if you're allowing the TNA stuff,
I think the doors are open.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get Samoa Joe.
Yeah, they've never really crossed that bridge. I don't think they will.
No. If they didn't do it, listen, if they didn't cross that bridge with Adam Copeland for John Cena,
exactly.
I don't know if that bridge is getting crossed anytime in the near future.
Angle?
That's a good name.
Also, your typo is incredible. I love it.
What'd I do? Oh.
Look at that. Yeah.
Good call. I'll have to fix
He's
it.
going into Hall F, guys.
Hall of fucking fame.
Just thought I'd point it out. No
I
big deal.
appreciate it. It's all good. I have to fix that. Let's type it up fast.
You'd rather it be me than the chat.
Yeah. But they don't give a shit about that. They don't love me for my brains.
Okay.
Right, Dynasty? You don't love me for my brains. I'm just here to be entertaining. Angle's a good name. I think that Cena could be on the table. I think Cena would do it for him if he wanted him to.
Yeah. Yeah, considering the surprise before their match that he gave the ring announcer.
Yeah.
But it depends. What's his schedule? Like, can he be there? It's hard to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's on the table. I think you could do. Oh. I do think the Good Brothers could be on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't shock me.
Or you could do the Good Brothers and Balor. But I think that's getting too, like, a lot of people will be, like, confused. Because not everybody watched Japan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, so I do think, I don't know if you caught Stephanie McMahon's interview with AJ.
Yeah.
And she showed him like a video package of all these superstars wishing him well. And Balor was very emotional and talking about how their paths had never really crossed till they got to WWE, but they were constantly in each other's shadows, and what an influence that AJ was in the ring and outside of the ring, as the way that he carried himself as a colleague and a man and a father. Like AJ actually got emotional and he said, I didn't even know he cared about me that much. Like to that level,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah, what's funny is, like, now that we're at this point, like, he talked about how close he is to Xavier Woods, right?
Yeah.
And who was the guy who he gave the biggest hug to coming out of, after he got out of the ring at Saudi and had a deep moment? It was Woods. And they're two guys who almost ran parallels with WWE and TNA, right? I wonder, God, I think to myself, and I wonder, like, it is a shame it can't be Joe, because I think the reality is,
yeah,
it should be Joe.
It should be. Yeah, for sure. Do you know what one of my favorite moments is? Do you remember when?
That's a good one. Real quick, that's a good one by Dynasty. Jeremy Borash would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We've always been together outside of the New Japan run. That's very true. Yeah, he says Borash or Cena.
I think you know what? I think Terry Taylor got the ball rolling for sure on that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, Terry Taylor had his fingerprints on a lot of the TNA talent back in those days too.
Yeah,
that's a good call, Pat. Really good call. But yeah, now if I was to pick today, God, it's so I would think Cena for the star power that he has. Jericho is another one, because Jericho was his first big feud in WWE.
Yeah,
and they could kind of.
That was.
Mysterio's another decent one.
I was gonna say, do you remember when they tried to get him to join the Judgment Day? If you go back and watch that, Balor's face is priceless when they brought back the Good Brothers. I love watching that.
It's so good. Yeah, man. I wonder what's gonna happen with Gallows. Like, this gonna sound terrible. AJ was like their WWE meal ticket now. The club is done.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that ends up working out. Unless, obviously Balor goes by. Y2J, never forget. Y2AJ, yeah. Hilarious. I I don't know why, because it was like what, a 2-week thing. I've always wanted a Y2AJ shirt and never got one. It's one of those like totally they cashed in on the cow for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
But I wish I had it. I have a couple AJ shirts. I'm wearing one now. One of my faves. This one I can wear and you can't even tell it's a wrestling shirt. Jericho in the box. I don't think so, Pat. It sounds like AEW has his contract frozen, or at least had it frozen for injury time, similar to what WWE does. And you know, much like WWE, sometimes they make them honor it, sometimes they just let him go. Sounds like AEW does not want to let Jericho go, not because they want him. It's not because they want him. It's because they don't want him to go to WWE. They are for everything that they said they wanted to be. And again, I don't want to go down this AEW bash fest because I actually don't. I like AEW. I'm a WWE. I'm more geared for the WWE product, but I do like AEW. But the reason they make it hard for me to really enjoy certain aspects of AEW is because of the fans, and that it's very reminiscent and mirrors our society today of you have to be one way or the other. You can't be okay with even if you're one way, you can't be okay with the other one, because that's how I am. I love WWE. I really like AEW. I don't love it. I like a lot of the matches. I hate the storylines. I also don't love the commentary outside of I think Bryan Danielson is okay. I think that Excalibur is tremendous. Tony Schiavone, it was cool when he came back, but I'm kind of over it now. And now they make him look like a putz every time he gets in the ring.
Yeah. Too many guys there though. They'll bring in, sign, and then they'll shelve them, and you'll never see him again, which is crazy.
Well, that's what they said they would never do.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
They got what they wanted out of Jericho. Now he's being shelved. It's like, so not to go into that argument, but
that's a topic.
There's a whole list. Yeah.
Greg jumps in, says, "What's up, fellas?" Pat, I have no idea what's in the box. This is the same company we saw a chicken come out of an egg. This is a
hand come out of a woman.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah. They're just. This is one of those things. Instead of trying to, because I feel like I'm gonna. It's one of the things that I'm gonna be like, what the fuck, man. Like I know I'm gonna hate this, so I'm not even trying to think about it till it happens.
I'm ready to be disappointed. I think that's where I've been for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and the fact that they're passing the box back and forth is the weirdest thing to me. And just to get to the point, well, I guess we're gonna have to open it together on Saturday. Just open the fucking box. Yeah. Who cares what it says? Just open the box. I pray it's not. It's gonna be, Pat. I'm telling you.
It's not gonna be exciting.
I'm just saying, open the fucking box. And there I'm saying a lot of F's tonight, and I don't curse that much on this show anymore.
If it were a human or an animal, it'd be dead at this point because you can't breathe in there. There's no way.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, is it gonna be a human?
I've seen no holes in that box.
I've seen no holes. I've seen no way to feed in food.
Maybe it's holding Vince's lockbox.
Maybe Vince is actually dead and they got him cryogenically frozen.
Oh, like Ted Williams?
Maybe it's a new era in that box.
Oh my God.
Because this is what
that happens every week. Yeah.
This is what we do.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can't wait to have Russo back. Oh my God. I wish. Oh, Vince Russo, I can't wait to have you back on the show, buddy.
Come on after the box.
Oh my God.
Because that would just be great.
We were trying to wait for Mania. I might almost have to be like, Eric, can we see if Vince is available next week? Oh my goodness. I don't think we could get him in time. Oh my god, I would love to know. Yeah, Pat. That's exactly what I think of. What's in the box? Oh, I don't even want to fucking talk about this stupid box. That does transition us into our next segment of the show, though. So let's just dive right into that. And that is our Elimination Chamber preview set in Chicago. One of my favorite match concepts, although I am not in love with the every concept we have to have a themed pay-per-view after it. It doesn't make it feel as special. But regardless, it's become as important as the Royal Rumble in terms of it's the consolation opportunity outside of winning that Royal Rumble. So let's dive in first here. One of the headline singles matches, AJ Lee makes her long-awaited WWE singles return against Becky Lynch. Your thoughts on this? Who do you got?
Just trying to think in my head where you would go for both. I feel like oh, my heart wants to say AJ, but my gut says Becky, because I feel like there's more options with Becky going into WrestleMania, because you still have, from what they've shown, Natty and Maxine. You could run that and do a 3-way if you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. By that look on your face, I agree.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think she keeps it with some bullshit, but
I mean, of course, that's what she does. I was for this AJ Lee return, but there's too much time in between things.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. It's kind of already worn on me.
She's a busy woman.
Pat Canning,
but I know you mean.
He
yeah.
thinks Becky keeps the title. Yeah, I think they came back. The iron was hot, and I'll be honest. I think Becky's a tremendous heel. I think she's entertaining as hell. I kind of like her doing the chase more. I think having the title, as much as I'm enjoying, and I still enjoy it. Like, she typed like a ridiculous paragraph about CM. Oh my god, let me find it on X.
There we go.
It's so good. They were talking about it this morning on like Get Up and First Take, because they had Punk and AJ Lee on there. Punk and AJ Lee on there, and it was just ridiculous. Here we go. Becky Lynch. And they were like, "Oh, can you guys react to this?" All right, so she put, is this the one here? There was 2 of them. So she says, "I can't wait to humiliate AJ in front of her family and friends." This was 2 days ago. Next Saturday, she'll be so embarrassed that she will retire from wrestling for good. To be honest, nobody wanted her back anyway. That's why she's an absolute joke. Little does she know, Chicago loves me. I'll probably get the most cheers and love from the crowd at the United Center. Way more than puny Phil. Chicago is and always will be a big Becky believer town. Then she says, Chicago made, more like Chicago menace Punk. Conniving moron Punk is probably more accurate. My very reliable sources have informed me that WWE has loud cheers and audience noises ready to be piped in due to the fact that Punk, an absolute joke, AJ, actually get no real love from the crowd. I hear some people attending will be paid in merch to go nuts when they come out. Insane. Dude, she is just...
That's amazing.
I can't. She's so good. Then, like, the Bexy Awards she gives out.
I wish she would have dropped something about, like, Sports Illustrated. That would have been amazing. I love that run she was on with that.
Oh, here's another one for you. Ready?
Oh boy.
This was 2 hours ago. A former Chicago basketball player who dominated at the United Center and won many rings. His initials are MJ, but I won't reveal his identity. Called to wish me luck, not that I needed it, and to say he's rooting for me. I said, "Thanks, Michael. Like you, I'm the greatest to ever do it. Some say better."
Oh,
Bro,
my God.
what she is like how can I root for AJ Lee in that? First of all, you ain't even been around.
Yeah,
She is just
that's great.
It's so good.
Oh, that's so
It's
good.
so good. I don't know how you could root against her. AJ Lee, though. Mackenzie, what's up? Welcome back, my friend. It says Pat says I'm so over Natty is a heel in her Max story. It's more.
Yeah.
I'm over the Maxine story. I like the Natty character. I've watched it and followed it. So as she's been doing her regular character in WWE, she was given a lot of grace with WWE to go to the independent scene and do this character. And I've been waiting for this character, the legend. And it's like we haven't even scratched the surface of what we've seen on the indies. I think this is, and just give it a little bit of time, Pat. I think it'll come around on you. He says the only way I see AJ winning is if she loses at Mania. Mackenzie says, hey, how's it going? Name is Mackenzie. AJ Lee. Keep taking days off, not building a storyline with Becky Lynch, making the fans care less about her. Absolutely, Mackenzie. Appreciate you jumping in. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, I just think it hurt it. Like there was a lot of fire behind her return.
Yeah.
And I actually thought last week, Billy, not this week, the previous week, I actually didn't. The crowd was kind of dead for it, but I actually thought the promo exchange on her end, Becky's, I thought was a little silly, but on her end, where she was a little more serious, I enjoyed that. I thought she was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. But it's like, it's almost like stop, start, right? Like it's very, if you're like, I understand she's busy, she's got stuff to do, but it's like that feud has been like stop, start because she's gone. So it's hard to, keep that going. Whereas on TV, you've seen what Maxine, Natty, and Becky all kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think she keeps it, and they run something with Natty or whatever because they haven't paid that off. Unless they just don't pay it off, which would be silly. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the direction of that is. But I think we're both on the same page here. I'm rooting for Becky, and I think Becky will win this. I think it opens up more avenues, unless you have a heel, maybe a Lash Legend gets a dominant victory over AJ at WrestleMania. I wouldn't be opposed to something like that. Put her over a legend on the biggest stage, put the Intercontinental title on her. I think that would be something great. Now, again, they're on different brands, though.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see a woman at this particular moment. Maybe Raquel, but they have her focused on the WWE title. I don't know who I would put her up against at Mania for AJ, but Becky, I think
but that's what I mean. Like
endless.
you have, I don't know where you would go unless you do a rematch, which doesn't excite me after they've done it a couple times now, right? So
yeah. Obviously, before we get to the chamber matches, we'll jump into the next one. As Eric said, I don't know why we're having this match other than it's in Chicago. I wish they didn't do the first match, but we have CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the WWE World Heavyweight title. This is what I'll say about this, Belly. I don't love the match. I don't love we're getting it this way. I think it'll be a great match. They were awesome the first time around. I do like the direction through this feud that we're getting with Finn.
Yeah.
I think we're getting
that I agree with for sure.
Yeah, I think the promos have been good. I think him soul searching and being very like open and talking about it.
Yeah.
Through these like vignettes and promos with everybody, I think has been great.
Yeah.
obviously the cracks with the Judgment Day. But I think there was a better way to get there. I don't think we needed this other than we need a high level match for Chicago for Phil. But
Yeah,
CM Punk
the
wins.
whole thing's been weird, right? Because like you have him like fast forward to WrestleMania, he's fighting Roman, right? But like Punk gets in the ring and blows basically right past Roman and starts talking about Balor, and I'm like, what? It just, I don't know. I wish if they were gonna do it, saved it till now and not had the match already.
That's what I said. Yeah, I agree.
What's the difference going to be?
Well, he had to have his match in Ireland, but why did it have to be Punk?
That's what I mean. Like,
It's very weird. But I think we both agree Punk's going to win this match, right?
Yeah. I almost feel like maybe have someone on the Judgment Day inadvertently cost him the match.
I think
You know what I mean?
I think that's the direction we go with this one.
Which I wish would have happened the first time.
Yeah. I almost wonder if we get that while also getting some kind of an interaction or confrontation between Roman and CM Punk towards the end of this as well. Because Roman's supposed to be on Raw.
Oh. Yeah.
So wouldn't shock me if he's a part of Elimination Chamber, makes an appearance as well. Women's Elimination Chamber match. We have Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss versus Asuka versus Kiana James versus Raquel Rodriguez. I love, outside of Tiffany Stratton, I love the field of superstars in this match.
Yeah.
My fear for this match is that Tiffany Stratton is going to be who comes out of this.
Yeah, maybe. I'll be honest, that's not what I want to see. So, we still got time before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So, can we kind of intertwine the two women's things? Because I feel like they all go hand in hand here.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we saw on Raw.
Yeah,
as far as the other. Okay, so they dragged it out an extra week or two, but essentially you're going to have Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vicaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Which we knew we were going to get that anyway.
I would prefer. I think Raquel needs to be added to that somehow.
Wouldn't hate it.
Because of the Rumble, the elimination at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like because she goes into the Elimination Chamber, loses, and then what? Like, I just feel like somehow she's got to get added to that for a triple threat.
Yeah.
And then as far as Jade goes, I don't know.
Well, so couple of things here. I don't know if I see it being Rhea, because I think that they're going to end up obviously Io's not in the match, right? I think the goal is they're going to defend the tag team titles at WrestleMania. So I take them out. Maybe Asuka.
What about? And they've done it numerous times. There's some weird injury angle, and you add Jordan Grace.
I don't. You'd have to take Tiffany out. I don't want any of the others out of it, right? So, like, Alexa, something's going to happen there with Charlotte. They're already teasing the cracks in that, right? I think that's the direction we get towards Mania. If they're not a part of like some big tag team title fatal 4-way or something.
Yeah.
I think same thing with Asuka. I think she sticks it. So we're down to Kiana James and Raquel. So if you're looking for the powerhouse match here, then yeah, Raquel and Jade could be a WrestleMania level match. Love that Kiana James was put over and clean over Nia and Charlotte, by the way.
And she was so good in the Rumble.
She has been good since NXT.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I would love to see them really shock us and have somebody like her win. Or again, I'm cool with a Raquel. I think it's going to end up being Tiffany, and it's so aggravating.
The look on your face. But like, as you can see, like, it's funny because you're going to have Raquel's got to be somehow against Liv, like that Diesel Shawn, right? Because they're putting her up like,
yeah.
What are they calling her now?
Big Mommy Cool. I love that. Big Mommy Cool.
Exactly. So you got to have like that Diesel Shawn type thing, right? So that's why I eliminate her from that. So it's like, you could be right. It could be Tiffany.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd rather see. Yeah.
So Mackenzie, it's twofold. A, she did defend against Jordan Grace. B, Jade could very easily get overexposed right now. So at the end of the day, they're not going to put her in the ring all the time. I don't want I'm like old school. I don't need them defending it like never, but I don't need my champions defending it once a month even.
Yeah.
Or maybe just once a month. Like I don't get like super caught up in they haven't defended their title since the last pay-per-view or whatever, like, or they don't defend it on TV ever. There's a time where that wasn't a thing. We grew up in. Maybe an occasional Saturday night's main event. Tiffany's a good wrestler. She doesn't. Now you're triggering me, Mackenzie. I'm gonna have to dive into that. Pat says, I don't mind Tiffany's just the voice, but that's who I think is coming out of it. Yeah, he agrees with that. Raquel will win the Money in the Bank. I don't disagree with you on that one either, Pat. Listen, I think the rise of Tiffany was awesome. I was behind it. The momentum, the potential, I think, is through the roof on Tiffany. But she was given the ball, and she fumbled it a lot. She can't carry the promo with anybody. When she does, she gets very flustered, and you could see it's a true flustering. Look at the incident that happened with Charlotte.
I was just about to say that.
And there's a lot of botches.
Yeah.
And I mean it. Watch a lot of her matches, including when she came back for Rumble. She is a talent that could be a major, major, major player. But I think they looked at the physical package and the talent that could come from it, and the fact that there was instant momentum behind her. And then suddenly they put her out there in front of everybody and we're like, oh shit. Like, but they're in love with her.
Yeah.
Like, the internet wrestling community is not as crazy about Tiffany as they were. And I'm not trying to destroy her. I believe in her talent. But when I see like, and Mackenzie, I'm reacting to you saying it, but I've seen it. I think there's this narrative that like she puts on these amazing matches and she doesn't. Actually, go back. A lot of her matches aren't great. They're not. There's cool moments.
Definitely not recently.
No, there's cool moments.
Yeah.
Matches aren't great. I think she's one that maybe should have started at the mid-tier title and worked her way up. Yeah, I mean, here's a guy who was with the company for how long? I know. Yeah, that was rough to watch that right before Mania last year.
I mean, honestly, I think Jay's just a gimmick. Like, I just don't see anything else.
I saw what was there, but I think the belief in him went away very quickly and it became a fad. Not the Eat thing. I think that shit's super over still. But I think, I don't know. maybe he's not somebody who can be trusted. I mean, he gets shit faced and drunk on TV all the time with the company. So maybe there's like a non-belief that he can be the guy long term. So they gave us the moment. They gave him the moment as a thank you, and they took it away. What, 5 months later, 3 months later, whatever it was, 4 months later.
I think WWE as a whole just does a really poor job of elevating new talent, honestly.
Yes and no. I don't totally agree with that. Like, look at how they make Javon Evans look like a absolute superstar week in and week out. They make Dom look like an absolute superstar.
But like, even like when you talk about the women, it's always the same ones. So for me personally, I want to take Kiana James. I'd be on board with that.
Me too.
But I think we both know where it's going to go.
No, I think it's going to go to Tiffany. My only thing is, what is your story then for WrestleMania with Kiana James? I don't know if this is the time. I wouldn't hate it though, just because it's different. Right. But they also, they surprised us with the moment where you thought for sure it's got to be Nia or it's got to be Charlotte. Kiana's there to take the pin.
You watch SmackDown and she's having these moments with like Jordan Grace, and you think, okay, maybe they're going to do something here, and she's not even in the match. So it's like, you're right. It's got to be Tiffy, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know who else could come out of that. We have our men's Elimination Chamber match. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso. So the winner moves on to take on Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
Oh.
We know who this is going to be. Maybe we don't. I don't know. I think it's got to be Cody Rhodes, and then some way, somehow, they're going to get Jacob Fatu into a triple threat. It's just the logical way the story is going to go.
I feel like you could pull off a fatal four-way here and add LA Knight to that.
I don't think they're... where does he fit into it, though? Just because we like him? I don't think that's going to work. I could see him... I could see him getting the Brock spot and then losing.
Oh God. We're gonna touch on that. So
I would love to see something different, right? I think what we said. I'm a big Trick Willie fan. If I had my choice of who I would want to see win, I would go Trick Williams all day. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Pete brought it up.
Okay, so take LA Knight out and put in Trick. I think you could do it 4 ways, because Jacob Fatu's obviously got to be a part of it.
I know, but I don't want to see a fatal. I hate triple threat matches, let alone fatal. Like every fatal 4-way that they've ever had at WrestleMania has been terrible.
The ending of 2000.
Yeah, exactly. WrestleMania 16, WrestleMania 2000. And that was as star-packed as you could get. A McMahon in every corner. And it was awful.
Oh, so bad.
I don't think I've ever gone back and watched that match again.
I think I'm just got Cody fatigue personally.
Everybody has. He hasn't had adversity. That's the problem.
But I think it's going to be a multi-man match. I think. See? This is what I'm saying. Everybody's talking about why LA Knight doesn't get a real shot.
Listen, I don't know if it's politics. You've seen certain things on WWE and real, but they have the ability to curve what that narrative is too, where there's things in the ring he hasn't followed script. So I don't know.
Okay.
Like they showed at Money in the Bank how he kind of screwed up the finish. And Seth was not very happy about it. And then they show a moment of him being, torn into by Triple H. But, and again, that's why you can create a narrative of like, okay, well, we need to show people what we're saying. I love LA Knight. I've been an Eli Drake fan for years. When we were doing shows back in the day, I loved Eli Drake back then. Something's not there, something's not connecting. So I would like to see him get a huge spot. I would be okay. I if I'm really being honest, I think him and I don't even know. I was going to say like a Dom Mysterio, but we're not going to get that. I'd love to see him get the big moment. I just don't know where it is. I'll tell you what I want to see. I want to get rid of Money in the Bank being a pay-per-view, and I want it to be back to being a part of WrestleMania. And since you got 2 nights, why can't you do the men's one night and the women's the next night? Or vice versa.
That's true. Yeah.
Because then, like, it was such a beautiful part of WrestleMania, and to not have it be a part of it anymore. The concept of the pay-per-view was fine for a while. I know people are like, oh, it's kind of the big 3 or big 5. I throw that out the window. I'd rather it be a part of Mania.
I don't know. Money in the Bank kind of went downhill after Rey Mysterio got thrown off WWE headquarters.
Oh, come on. That was a beautiful moment. Beautiful.
No, but seriously, okay, so on this match, I'm going to go, you're either getting a triple threat, Jacob Fatu, McIntyre, and Cody, or if you were to do a 4-man, I'd say add Orton to it.
If I had my choice of how I would book this, it's not going to go this way. I don't think that we need Cody in a title match. He's been in it every year. What I would rather see is I would rather see Orton win this match. I'd rather see Orton take the title away from Drew. And I would rather see the build up to SummerSlam and have Randy Orton versus Cody at SummerSlam and get that match between those guys with that history on one of your biggest shows, similar to this.
Yeah.
And really fire that up and have Cody continue to chase up to this point.
Well, I just remember going into the Rumble, he was like, I'll throw your ass out kind of thing, right? So there's something there.
What I would have really done is I would have had on the men's and the women's side, I would have had 5 qualifying matches, and then I would have had 1 second chance match to get in for the people who lost those other matches. And I would have had it where Sami Zayn gets in. Sami ends up pinning Cody for the finish, where you end up kind of rewriting that, like kind of Cody said to him, you get in your own way. Well, this time, Sami doesn't let himself get in his own way. He takes advantage of the moment. He takes Cody out. He gets the spot at WrestleMania, and Sami finally gets his win after 7 or 8 losses to Drew now. He finally gets his win over Drew at WrestleMania. That's what I would have done.
I'll be honest, this WrestleMania is such a clusterfuck right now. Like, I don't even know. We're like 1 pay-per-view away, and this is the first time we mentioned Sami Zayn. No idea what he can even do. But that's...
I don't know either. It's very weird. I could see him getting added if there's a fatal 4-way. That's the closest person I could see getting added.
Yeah.
And he still gets his moment.
Oh, boy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, because then you have this whole Sami's kind of the forgotten guy. You have these other 3 guys. And at the end of the day, them 3 cost each other in a fatal 4-way, and Sami ends up getting it. So that's the alternative I could see. Eric had the best WrestleMania idea of all, and it's on our YouTube channel. One of our anecdotes with Arch that he dropped, and it is such we can't do it now because of how they allowed Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio to get to here. But I'm not like one of those crazy, you need to defend the title every whatever or strip them of the title. But we've seen it before. They pick and choose. So with Dom's injury, I would have, and this is what Eric said, not me. I'm 100% with him on this. Dom's hurt. Dom can't defend the Intercontinental title. He keeps his AAA title because they have different rules there.
Yeah.
But Dom can't defend his WWE title. So WWE says, hey, Dom, we're stripping you in the title. And he says, do what you got to do. I'm keeping the title. I'm still the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
You have a tournament. Finn Balor wins the tournament. Dom comes back for WrestleMania. Who's the real Intercontinental Champion?
It reminds me of that Punk Cena, right?
Dude, it's fucking Razor and Shawn from WrestleMania 10.
No.
And it would have been amazing when Eric threw that out there and we dropped that as content on it. I said, oh my God, he is brilliant. Why didn't we do that? There's your Judgment Day cracks. Yeah. And it culminates at WrestleMania. Who is the real standout from the Judgment Day? Who's the real Intercontinental Champion? Oh my God. That might have been over anything. That might have been the most compelling WrestleMania story.
It's because it's too good. That's the problem.
Oh, it's like I go back to WrestleMania 26, and I have fucking talked about this for years. I'm cursing a lot tonight because I'm unhappy about some things. As happy as I am for AJ. I probably curse more on here than I have in the last 6 months on the show.
Blame me. It's fine.
I know. See you bring it out of me. I go back to freaking WrestleMania 26.
Okay.
We had an opportunity to have Edge versus Christian at WrestleMania. And they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Edge won, I believe it was Edge won the Rumble. Christian could have had there was an opportunity for Christian to go against Jericho, and he ended up not winning the title. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, what are you doing here? Listen, I can't take credit for that one. That was Eric, but I think if I had a degree in writing, that they would hire me. I believe I have some pretty good creative ideas for wrestling.
Yeah,
and at least know when one sucks. I know. Yeah. These are the missed opportunities. The same company that didn't have Hogan and Flair at WrestleMania 9 or WrestleMania 8.
That's still crazy.
Can't ever get past that. So who do you have winning this match?
On the men's, I think it's going to be Cody.
Yeah.
But I think somehow we get to either a triple threat or a fatal four-way.
Agreed. Last little bit of news and notes here. Quick thoughts on the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge that's been put out there, where Paul Heyman comes out, talks about how the Undertaker streak was one of the featured matches, and now the man who ended that streak now is the featured match. Your thoughts on this? Who do you think the opponent could be or should be? I have very strong thoughts on this, actually.
So here's where I'm at. I have one name, and chat, you can get in on this.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be, for me, Obafemi.
Yep. There is no other solution to this.
I can't hear you all of a sudden.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Put your mic down.
I don't know what's happening here.
All right. Well, while he's away, it has to be Obafemi. 100% here. Pat jumps in. Pat does the same thing. Can you hear me now? Here we go. He turned into a pumpkin now. Now I can't hear him. Beautiful. If you can hear me, leave the stream and come back. I'm going to keep rolling here. Brock and Oba, 100% agree. Dynasty agrees. It has to be Obafemi, and it doesn't just have to be Obafemi. Obafemi needs to go over in this. If there's, first of all, the Brock, and I've been a Brock backer. I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Still can't hear me. I've been a Brock backer this entire time, and I can say this. I'm at the point now where I think I'm over the act. So if anybody else has any other ideas on who could be in on this, please let me know. But I don't see any other possibility. Anybody else would get squashed. Unless they're opening up an opportunity for somebody else who can make a debut, I guess. I personally don't say it. Other news and notes. Pat, you asked about this. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we got. Can you hear me or not? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
My microphone goes up more than 2 bars now. I don't know what's happening.
I know.
Crazy.
Listen, sometimes
where were we at?
Real quick. Sometimes with this, if your sound goes for no reason like that, sometimes you got to pop out and pop back in.
Okay.
So anyway, yes. So we were talking about the Brock and Oba thing. Were you able to hear me or no?
No.
Okay. So first of all, our chat agrees here. We got Pat chiming in, Brock and Oba. Dynasty agrees. It should be, and it has to be, Oba family.
Yeah.
I'll let you take over.
Well, he's listed as a free agent, right? So like, I just don't see anybody else. I really don't. And if it is LA Knight, like you said, I just think I'll be very angry about it. I just don't think he needs to be in that spot.
It feels very Dean Ambrose versus Brock at 32.
Oh, yeah.
Which was atrocious.
I wish I could forget that.
Yeah. Pat says, I don't follow NXT enough to name somebody. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's going to be a main roster person, which Oba is at this point. But listen, I don't think anybody's been beating the drum for Oba Femi any more than me. And I'll stand by it. He is the next Brock Lesnar. Brock's act is old to me now.
Yeah.
And I've been behind Brock for years. But I just, at this point, there needs to be something different. It needs to be more believable. I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not working for me anymore. So I
think Brock's near the end. I think he's going to go out in Minnesota personally.
Same.
Like a SummerSlam. So, I mean, who do you pass that torch to? Like, it's got to be Oba.
Yeah, he's got to pass the torch to Oba.
Yeah.
And I think that Gunther gets another notch under his belt on the way out in Minnesota. That would be my guess.
Or do they do Gunther and Brock?
I mean, that was teased to have been a couple of years ago. But unless he's done, and maybe Gunther, I could be okay with that. Maybe if he's going to be done at Mania instead of Minnesota, and Gunther comes out and says, I'll take your open challenge, but only if you put your career on the line. Because
you know what? I think I'm going to stick with Oba, and I think you have Gunther, Brock in Minnesota. If you want to keep that going.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it like we said with Gunther. But my thing is, like, we had this moment at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And where Brock ultimately, incorrectly, had the moment where he put Oba over the top, but in my opinion, too easily.
Yeah.
So, like, the only way Gunther makes sense is if his career is on the line. I think that's too early because I think you need to have the Oba moment.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. I think we get that at Minnesota and we get Brock and Oba earlier than that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And our final little note, I think is important to talk about. We mentioned it earlier, the Bronson Reed injury again, man. a torn bicep. Rough.
It's crazy because it looked harmless.
This group is so snake bitten, dude. It is wild. You got Seth who gets hurt. Then you have then you get Braun. Now you got Bronson. Like at this point, Logan might be saying to himself, "I should have stayed a part-timer."
But that's what I mean. Like it clouds WrestleMania. Like so, like okay, you have a guy who fakes an injury, like works an injury to come back to then get injured, and then the rest of your team gets injured. You can't even run that back now because everyone's gone.
Yeah.
So even if Seth's ready to go, he's not going to want to sit on the sideline. What do you do with him?
Yeah, I don't.
Can't really do anything.
Well, yeah, because the two guys that took him out are the two guys that are out, and with major injuries.
Yeah,
like Braun is out for 6 months, and Bronson's going to be out for. I mean, how long? Well, Cody tore a pectoral, torn bicep. I'm going to look up.
Oh.
I'm going to consult.
Wasn't that what Punk did?
Was that what he? Yeah, it might have been what he had.
If that's what Punk did, that's like what? I guess it depends how bad it is, right?
Torn bicep recovery typically takes 3 to 4 months for functional recovery.
Oh,
and up to 6 to 12 months for full strength recovery. Non-surgical partial tears may heal in 6 to 8 weeks, while complete tears requiring surgery usually require 3 to 6 months.
Poor guy. And it looks so harmless. Shattered his ankle in the chamber or the War Games, only to come back for a little bit and to do like I watched it and I was like, how did he get hurt there? Like you just and like even the Braun Breaker thing with the hernia, I'm like, I didn't even notice anything.
Yeah. Pat says the Vision is now the IR. They threw the story out the window. Logan and Theory tag team versus the Usos. Yeah, I mean, I think we've speculated, myself and Eric, that's the direction we kind of thought this was going for Mania anyway. The whole masked man though, yeah, you can't just scrap it. So, but do you just? I don't fucking know. Do you just pull the mask off, have somebody show up and say, "Hey, it's me"? Have Seth come out and be like, "Yeah, it was me. I'll be back in a few months. I just want to remind you I'm here, bitches. Now 2 years are out. I'm good."
But didn't they? I don't know. That whole thing is like that's completely derailed plans. Like what about the rumor that you might get Logan Bad Bunny? That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
you look at the WrestleMania top to bottom. I have no idea.
Same. I don't know.
And we're like what, a month out over that, but like it's the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going. Oh, Billy, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Do you have anything other news, notes, or comments before we hop off of here?
That's fair then. I mean, unless you add another member, but I just don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That's I mean, that looks like it's the direction we're going. If we're going to keep this going, my concern is who cares?
That's just it. Like,
there's two guys that were a part of the Vision when he was out, and that was Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
So I guess when that masked man shows up, and I've never caught it, are Logan and Theory always around?
Yeah, I mean, he takes out any of them.
Okay, so
he has stomped both Theory and Logan Paul. The last time he was on television was Logan Paul.
Okay.
Does make you wonder if Bronson Reed was supposed to win that match last night.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they pivoted because obviously it probably would have been Seth and Braun after the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
And then they would, well, he's out, let's pivot.
Mhm.
And then that happens. It's like, I don't even know. Maybe they give him Austin Theory if you're going to bring in Bad Bunny, but I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know.
I don't either. We'll see what happens.
I can't wait for the day we go down the card of WrestleMania and be like, what the fuck is this? Because I feel like that's the way it's going.
Well, listen, we're not that far away. We're about 7 weeks away from really diving into that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of fun stuff coming up, by the way, guys. WrestleMania season is upon us. Once we get past this, we ramp up our WrestleMania content. Pat says Seth comes back with a new vision, Masked Man, Logan, and so you could do kind of with Pat. You could do something where Seth has been in cahoots with Logan and Theory this whole time. And some of the rest of it, like the stomps, were just to kind of throw them off the trail. If you want to go down that path, maybe.
I hate it. I feel like the injuries have really blown this up, right? So
well, my beef has been, how many times are we going to do the masked person? Did it with freaking Solo a couple years ago.
Reminds me of What's in the Box.
Which we're doing now too.
When in doubt, break glass, put someone in a mask. Like, yeah, I know.
It's weird. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun, Bill. Everybody out there who joined us, please, guys, on your way out, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, share us out, tell your friends about us, and most importantly, come back and see us next week. We're on every Tuesday. Mania season's ramping up. We're going to do watch parties with past WrestleManias. We're going to do roundtables to discuss Mania. We're going to have a couple of special guests that are going to join us when within the pro wrestling industry to talk about lots of different stuff. So we're going to work to hopefully bring our buddy Vince back. So we got a lot of good stuff that's going on. We're very excited for it. We want to thank our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal at specializedphysicaltherapy.com, for sponsoring the show. Make sure you guys follow us in A2D Radio. This is our Instagram handles. You can find us on all the other social media platforms as well. Lazy Booking Podcast also has our own YouTube channel where we drop this show. This show is live on A2D every week. Then we drop this show either late that night or the next morning on the Lazy Booking Podcast page to archive our shows. We also drop original content. That's where you'll see our watch-along shows. Sometimes we do watch-alongs, watch parties. Andy typically does our watch-alongs. We have not been able to do, and we're not going to be able to do one this weekend because everybody is out of town. I actually won't be able to watch Chamber till Sunday. I have the Brett Young concert with the fiance in Bensalem, PA. So I won't be around. If anybody's going to be in Bensalem and Brett Young, let me know. So I will have to watch this on Sunday.
Tiffany Stratton's win can wait till Sunday.
Oh my God. It's terrible. But yeah, so that's all we got for you guys. Lots of cool stuff coming up. It's WrestleMania season. Elimination Chamber is going to get us going. Thank you.
I will promise the chat that I will shit all over this WrestleMania. That is my promise. I am not excited for it.
You say that now. Watch. It's going to come.
No, I won't be. I won't be.
You're going to be so pumped. I can't wait. It's going to be the most exciting show of your life. Listen, for myself, for Billy, thank you, Billy, for jumping in, filling in for Eric. We'll see Billy a little bit, especially throughout the WrestleMania season, is him and some of our other guys who we had on last week to celebrate our 10th anniversary show will join us. And by the way, if you missed last week's show, it's not really a time-sensitive show. We recap the last 10 years of professional wrestling. So you can go to A2D's YouTube page, or you can go to the Lazy Book Podcast TV YouTube page. You can find the link to the show. If you're watching us here on A2D Radio, you can, as soon as we're done, you can go ahead and go check it out. We had a great panel of 6 of my past co-hosts on this show. And again, we talked about a lot of the movements and eras in the last 10 years of pro wrestling, the changes from when we were talking about tape trading, renting. I mean, we went even beyond 10 years when we were talking tape trading and talking about West Coast Video and Blockbuster Video and all. But really fun stuff, really great conversation. So would love for you guys to go back and check that out. If you haven't watched it yet, you'll enjoy it, especially if you love nostalgic wrestling talk. And that's it. That's all I got. Thanks to Tom Marnone at A2D Radio and everybody here. Make sure you guys stay tuned at the top of the hour for Flyers Talk A2D as Niche Night continues to bring the heat to you guys. But again, thank you guys all. Active chat again. We love it every week when you guys come back and talk to us. We'll be back next week. Eric will be back next week. We'll get his thoughts on AJ Styles going into the Hall of Fame. I hope he's enjoying his time on his vacation. And that's it. My fellow Canadian, sir. It's been a pleasure. Our first show back where
I know it's so weird.
Yeah, I don't remember if I said at the beginning of the show, but I meant to. This is the first show that me and you have done together where it's just me and you since before I joined A2D Radio. So
it's like riding the bike, and I'm still negative. It will never change.
Hey, it's not a show with me and you unless somebody's got a technical or audio problem. So here we go.
Thanks, StreamYard. We had a good run.
We had a good run, man. We made it like an hour and 40 minutes or an hour and 35 minutes before we hit that. So
that's right.
Way longer show than we thought. For so much for my hard hour.
Well,
it's Mania season. This is the kind of stuff that's going to happen. And did we expect AJ Styles to be on? Listen,
no.
As long as that was as quick as our preview show was for this, is how quick our actual show would have been, which would have been 30 to 40 minutes if it wasn't for
true
stuff.
It's true.
AJ threw everything out the window. So anyway, awesome show. Again, thank you to everybody. As Andy always says, tell somebody you love them. And we out. Be careful out there, especially if you're getting snow like we have been.